Hi, Robin Storey here, life story and ghostwriter. And in this video, I'm going to tell you 11 powerful reasons why you should write your life story. Number 1, leave a legacy for your family. Writing your life story enables you to hand something down to future generations that they'll treasure. Think of it as attaining your own little piece of immortality. By writing your life story, your descendants will know what life was like for you, what shaped you, how you came to be the person that you were. It brings you to life and you won't just be a name on a family tree. It's a fundamental human need to know where we fit in to our family and into our history. And by writing your life story, you're helping your descendants to find out their part in history. You can just imagine in 3 generations' time, little Johnny sitting down and reading your life story and saying to himself, now I know where I got that stubborn streak. Or you can substitute another more flattering attribute. Number 2, become a part of history. A lot of what we know about how people lived in previous historical eras was because they wrote diaries and journals and stories of their lives. And so by writing your life story, you make a contribution to that vast repository of information that future generations will have about lives in our era. And if you write your story in the context of what was happening in the wider world, what society was like, politics of the day, any international events that impacted on your day-to-day living, you're really going to help history come alive for future generations. Number 3, understand yourself better. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living, and it's often not until you put it all down on paper that you can look at it and get some perspective. All your milestones, achievements, struggles, disappointments, you can see the bigger picture when you write about them. Writing your story enables you to look at your strengths and your weaknesses and how you've overcome adversity and all the lessons that you've learned along the way. The clarity and insight that you get from writing your life story can sometimes change your future. For example, you might decide to go on that trip that you've been wanting to go on for ages, or to take those art classes that you always said you'd do, or go visit a friend that you haven't seen for 20 years. Number 4, it's therapeutic to write your life story. We've all experienced suffering, and there may be feelings of anger or fear or sadness from past events that you haven't come to terms with, but you don't realise it until you actually sit down and start writing. This was my experience when I wrote my memoir about my experiences with breast cancer, and this brought back some memories of events in the past where I'd experienced similar emotions. Getting your emotions down on paper helps you to make sense of them and find meaning in them, and facilitates the healing process, and often you can feel much more at peace afterwards. And at the end of it, you may even decide to forgive someone that's wronged you, or maybe even forgive yourself for mistakes you've made. Number 5, feel more connected. Storytelling is one of our most basic forms of communication, and humans are hardwired to respond to them. Through telling your story, you'll find things that you have in common with other people. When others read your life story and make comments such as, "I can really relate to that," or "I felt exactly the same way," then it makes you feel more connected to those people. Sometimes you'll think you're the only person in the world who's reacted in a certain way to an event or had particular thoughts and feelings. And to know that others have had exactly the same thoughts or experiences is really gratifying, and it makes you appreciate being a part of humanity. Number 6, it gives you a sense of purpose. Writing your life story gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It gives you a goal to aim for. You'll feel that you're making a contribution to your family and society as a whole. Older people in particular can sometimes feel a little bit aimless and feel that their life is not of much value. And writing your life story is the ultimate remedy. Number 7, it's good for your health. Digging deep into your memory and creating the structure of the story and the creative process of writing the story all use a lot of mental resources. And we all know that as we get older, using your brain is very important for physical and mental health. Plus the fact that you're engaged in a project that you're finding fulfilling is also a great contribution to your overall mental and physical health. Number 8, you'll make new friends. When you embark on a new project, it's often much more enjoyable if you can do it with other people. So if you can, join a life story or memoir writing group in your community or online. You'll find that the encouragement and the support and the advice will be very much worth it, and you'll find a new group of people with whom you have at least one thing in common. And if you can't find a group, start one yourself. Number 9, it's fun and exciting to write your life story. What more compelling reason do you need than that? Retrieving and collating your memories involves looking at old photos and yearbooks and getting out old family mementos and treasures, and really getting on that nostalgia train, which can be a lot of fun, particularly if you're doing it with other members of your family. Once you start writing, it can be challenging, but just remember to enjoy the process. Don't worry too much when you first start about making mistakes. The important thing is just to get everything down, enjoy the process, and then you can go back and edit it later. Number 10, discover your creativity. Even if you don't think you've got a creative bone in your body, you may well surprise yourself. You don't have to be a great writer to write your life story. You just have to get in there and start. And though it might be difficult at first, you'll soon find that you develop your own flow and your rhythm. And you might find that if you're an avid reader, that it'll be easier than you think, because subconsciously you'll have picked up how to write by reading all the books that you've read. It can be easier if you have a mentor to guide you as well. And if you think this would be something that would be useful for you, to have someone to guide and support you along the way, I do offer a mentoring service as well. So click on the link below in the description, and this will take you straight to the ghostwriting page of my website. Put in your name and email address, and then I will contact you and we can set up a time to discuss the mentoring process. Number 11. The final powerful reason for writing your memoir is it can be done by someone else. If it's just all too hard and you don't want to do it and you want someone else to do all the work for you, this is where I can help you. So if you'd like to get the ball rolling, click on the link below in the description, and this will take you straight to the ghostwriting page on my website. Then click on the big green button, put in your name and email address, and I'll contact you within 24 hours and we can set up a time to talk about writing your life story. Talk to you soon.